let's talk about Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga. You saw it the other day, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
That movie's rated R. How in the world did your parents let you go see that? Are you 18?
No, I'm not 18.
Shame on your parents for that happening. We'll have a talk with them later.
You are my parent.
I know. But it wasn't a bad R. In other words, it was only a step beyond many of the Marvel films that you've seen. And that was because of the violence. Would you agree with that?
Yes, it was it was more violent than a Marvel movie, but it still earned the R rating.
It earned the R rating, but not gratuitously so. In other words, it didn't do so. And I loved this movie. Furiosa, for me, it was the best action movie since Fury Road, which was 9 years ago, between releases. It had enough of Fury Road and the Mad Max world to be familiar, but it didn't repeat many of the elements. You had some of the same characters. You had the Polecats, but the Polecats didn't have as much of a role, as it were. It was just the attitude and the cut of the movie, and it was also paced differently. Now, you saw Fury Road, didn't you?
Yeah.
I didn't think you would like Fury Road, but did you?
Yeah, I liked it. It was amazing, yeah.
Great. So how would you put Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga, up against Fury Road?
It's been a while since I've seen Fury Road, but I'd put it a little below or at the same.
Okay. And I was surprised to put it that high for me also because it was a prequel. And prequels for me, as you may have read in the review, do you read?
Yeah.
Great.
I read.
Do you read my website?
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't, Pinocchio. Whatever. I'm not one for prequels, but this is a prequel for Fury Road, and it still really was on the same par. I mean, I often make claim to Muppet Babies. Do you know Muppet Babies? Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah. Basically, when the Muppets were successful, they said, well, let's make a cartoon about the Muppets as babies. And that was kind of the first prequel, and it really kind of wet the bed for everything after that was a prequel. And, like, it wasn't that good. It was horrible. But, man, Furiosa was excellent. Were there any standouts in Furiosa for you?
No, not really.
What was your favorite part of the movie? Without giving away a spoiler, dude.
I kind of liked how they kind of like returned to the Citadel,
Ah, yes.
while also exploring other parts of the wasteland.
Very true. That's what's so different about Furiosa is that it actually tells a more coherent story, and that's not a slight against Fury Road. There's a lot more dialogue, a lot more characters that speak, a little less action, but there's a whole lot more story. It's a more intelligent movie, and again, that's not a slight against anything. It's just a great action film with a much better story, one that I found very surprising, and that he is correct. They go to the Citadel, they go to the green space, and there's a whole lot of space in the wasteland with an allusion to more stories in the wasteland. And what's needed, this movie was also told in chapter format. 5 chapters, each one differently, with the totality of the movie spanning 15 years. And just really great. Were there any weak points in the movie for you?
No, I thought it was all good. Yeah.
I would agree. Towards the end of the film, I thought it might have benefited from a small haircut, much like some high school youth. But I thought it was really pretty good. And I was like, okay, just hang with it. And I hung with it. And I could tolerate the slightly longer than wanted length. It's one that we'll definitely get the DVD for. Would you watch this movie again?
I would.
I
10
would.
times over.
I would. And we probably will around Christmas time when it comes out on DVD. Because we're going to buy the DVD and then not the digital package, so we can always have it in case those filthy people take our stream. What do you think about that?
Great idea.
It is. Who would you recommend Furiosa for, dude? What audiences?
Late 7th graders, 8th graders, and high schoolers above.
Okay. And it is rated R, so if you're in that demographic, you may want to sneak into it. But hey, here's a fun fact. I told you this. You might have forgotten it. The Road Warrior, which was rated R back in the day, that was the first R-rated movie that I snuck into. My parents didn't even know that I snuck into it. You know what I did?
What?
I told them that I was going to go see some other movie. And I didn't. So don't sneak into it, but Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga, man, it is the best action film since its predecessor, Fury Road, 9 years prior, and that is high praise. It really is fantastic. I mean, if you want to be really have some bones about it, you could say it's a bit repetitive or a little has the same characters. I would disagree with that for the most part and say it's cut by its own cloth and stands on its own 2 feet. And this is Trey with Daddy Mojo.